June 15th, 2021, 6:40 a.m. and got to the screen a little bit late today, about 6:15, 6:20, and we are pushing up into fresh new space once again. We are about to test the 72 round number. Overnight session, we had this large drive, and now we've pushed up above yesterday's range, yesterday's value. Now we're testing back up into yesterday's value area high. And right when I got to the screen, I felt like there was a decent opportunity for a trade here. Right around here, my expectation was for this space to be filled in, this thin unfair price here. We had this range here, the upper side range, and then when we broke down, this was the trigger for the trade, and I took a short at 80 right here. Nice price here, and my target was at 64 to fill in this space, and I just got filled for plus 14, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 65. I wanted to make sure that price traded through, so target was around 64, 65, but I took 65 here. Nice way to start the morning after not so good of a day yesterday, but feeling all right. Got to get back on track. Just trade the fundamentals of what I'm seeing and try to keep my head together and know that I don't need a ton of ticks every day to make a really great living. And so that's what I'm going to try to be mindful of and keep working. Got to keep working at it. I've been pretty frustrated lately. Yesterday, feeling like I just had no idea what I was doing every day, every trade, trying to kind of fade the moves and just continuing a long, slow grind lower yesterday. And that was kind of through this whole area here. We kind of put in this real weak high here and then just continued to grind down. Kelly mentioned something yesterday. I told him I didn't do very well, and he said it was definitely he had an expectation to test the upper side of the range. And then we did that, and then much more. I mean, at certain points after this high wasn't put in, I also had an expectation that we would test the upper side of value, and then VPOC, and then the lower side of value, and all of that happened. So just try to keep it simple, get back to basics, and we'll see where we're at the end of the day. I'm in a long trade here for this failure price here. We came down, pushed in, and put in this low here, and looking to see if we can move back up into this range here. And we did this definitely on an increase in volume. When we came down, pushed down here. Then we spiked down below, forming this low tick failure and a imbalance up, and then I got in here at 67, and now looking to come back up into range above, up into this range here. We're dealing with this kind of this low volume area between the two areas here, so my expectation is that now we'll spike through, push through up above all of this liquidity, all of these lows. This high definitely is not very strong here. This has been tested. This has not quite been tested, this area at 86. So hopefully we can move up into that area, at least minimum 67. That would get me almost 20 at 86, so I'll be looking to manage it pretty tight there. If I can get to the 86, I might just take it off at 86 before flushing the highs. We'll see. This area could fail though. We could fail this area here and come back down through. But my expectation is that we've been up here once, tested, first test back up from below, 2, 3. Now this is our fourth time. So now if I can, this area and this point of control here needs to hold from above, and then we can move higher. So we'll see if I can survive here. I've already went to break even on a push above these highs here. Now we are coming back down. It looks like I'm probably going to get taken out, and I hope I can survive it, but we'll see. Question always is, am I wrong on this trade if price comes back down here? No, not necessarily, but being that we did push above these highs, it is a pretty reasonable de-risk there. If we get back down below this point of control here and anywhere down through here, I don't want to be in here, and I'll be below that structure. So I think it's a fairly valid de-risk, and it is holding for right now. So we'll see on this next attempt. I would like to see it go and push above these highs, back up in, break through, and push up into this previous range. Like I mentioned, we do have liquidity here above all of these tops here. Also shorts from all these areas too, so potential shorts here, stuck. Shorts aren't stuck here yet, but potentially if we have some kind of imbalance up here, we'll be looking for the shorts to be stopped out here and all this liquidity to flush as well. Here we go. So this is the area that we need to flush now. So it's also possible that if we spike above this and come back down and fail back down into range here, we'll be looking to revisit the VPOC down here at 58. So that's what I'm watching for, possibility of getting short through this area as well. If we can't come up and break these highs, that's I'm keeping both of those ideas in mind at the same time. So, but obviously I have a great price here in nice profit, and I will be looking for the long idea to continue to play out here. No real big interest or increase in volume is coming in here, so I'm not really looking to manage this or take profit off of this. If I had seen some kind of large, huge increase in volume on a push above, that's something that would be something to watch. But at this point, it's really nothing really to do here. Just kind of let my idea play out on the long side trade and see what happens. And hopefully I can survive any kind of pullbacks before, or any spikes, any shakeouts, as they say. So I've been trying to really pay attention to context read, because if I'm right on the read, more often than not, then this will play out. And if I'm not right, then I'm not right. So fortunately, I have a good price. So if we're not going to break the highs, then context is not correct and my read is not correct, and I don't want to really be in this trade anymore. So yeah, I could get shaken out. I could get taken out on a spike down. But if my context read is right overall, I have a decent price here, and this trade definitely has a higher probability of working out than it doesn't. So I just need to be on the right side more often than not, and let it all play out. So I would have liked this obviously to have just gone now, but now we've come up above these highs again. Not really seeing any kind of nice flush of liquidity, which doesn't always happen, but it seems sometimes you have to sit in this discomfort. This is the area, though, of where people getting in long here are in a real uncomfortable position, and that's where I don't want to be. That's why my position down here is much more comfortable, and I definitely have some room, but doesn't look like it's going to work out, and I'm going to get taken out here. And I did just get taken out +1, so that's not what I want to see at all for this trade, for this to come down and push down on higher volume here, and these highs to fail, because now we have failed back down into this range. That's not good for the long side trades, in my opinion, unless this is some kind of shakeout, and that may be the case. I mean, a lot of times we'll see that, and then we'll see the imbalance push up through. But I wanted to see if the bulls are strong here and the flush of liquidity of these highs, I would want to see an imbalance higher, and then for price to go, and that is not the case. So either I'm wrong or this is a shakeout, but I have nothing to do here now. Not going to re-enter. And if we do get a push back up, then I'm not going to be taking a price way up there likely right now. So I'm just going to be kind of watching. So this was what I was talking about as far as having a good price and a good entry here down at the 67 area, because I can be wrong on the trade and still manage it appropriately. If I was up in here in this area trying to wait after an imbalance and then trying to get in somewhere here at the top of the range, then at 76 and I'm in big trouble. And then I'm looking at full stops and big stops here, and obviously I'm completely wrong on this, so my context read is not correct at this point. But this is a little bit of new information as well. I could see after coming above these highs here, the short idea is more valid now. So, and then now for us to come back down and like I mentioned previously, to come down and test the point of control from yesterday and then yesterday's value area low, etc. So now we've broken up into that range that I was talking about, and when we did have this failure, this low tick failure here, I was looking at getting long in the setup in this area, but the issue for this trade was this trouble. We were trading right back up into this trouble here, and then we came up and tested on large volume and then came back down and possibly could have gotten short anywhere in here after this test into the trouble. But also then we have the trouble below, which is support the structure for the long side trades. I passed on it because I didn't really like how it felt there. But now we'll see if we're going to hold this structure now from above. Possibly could be looking to hold this structure if we push down, come back up, and then a chance to get long to break the highs. But the issue with that trade now too is that this push here is already taken out these bar highs and all this liquidity. So if we do get down into here, this could be again a failure back down into this range. So it's a little bit hard for me to say if I'd be comfortable with that. I'd want to see this hold and then some kind of push here, an imbalance up, and then a pullback to this area to get long. So there's the overnight high taken out, and just here staring at it. Didn't really have any kind of valid setup. Still looking back at this one to see if this made sense to enter somewhere in here around the 66 where my last entry was, and then nice trade and expectation met to come out and move into this range and take out the high. So